They said it was just a rumor. They said it was only a phase. But what if what's happening right now goes far beyond a typical celebrity romance? Picture this. The red carpet glows under relentless camera flashes. Headlines move fast. Social media refreshes even faster. Once again, the names Timothée Chalamet and the Jenner family dominate global entertainment news. But this time, the story isn't just about a couple smiling for the cameras. There's a deeper narrative unfolding, and the public is only starting to connect the dots. Before we go any further, stay with this story until the end. Engage, react, and share your thoughts, because what you're about to hear isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a shift in perception, power, and possibility inside one of the most closely watched worlds in modern pop culture. Over the past several months, international media have begun focusing on a detail that initially slipped under the radar. Timothée Chalamet, one of Hollywood's most respected actors of his generation, has been seen spending increasing amounts of time not just with Kylie Jenner, but with the inner circle of the Jenner family itself. These aren't casual public appearances. These are moments that typically remain private, reserved only for those who are truly trusted. According to multiple entertainment industry sources, this growing closeness is no accident. Timothee has reportedly joined family-oriented gatherings with the Jenners outside of any promotional schedule. No film press. No brand endorsements. Just presence. And in a family known for carefully curating every aspect of their public image, that detail matters. This is where the narrative begins to change. For years, the Kardashian-Jenner family has operated as a tightly controlled media empire. Every relationship, every appearance, every interaction has context and consequence. So when Timothée Chalamet, a figure famously protective of his private life, appears increasingly comfortable within that world, a critical question emerges: is this still just dating, or something far more serious? Pop culture analysts argue that Timothee's growing involvement with the Jenner family signals a new level of commitment. He is no longer simply a high-profile partner appearing at award shows. He is becoming part of a private ecosystem that rarely opens its doors to outsiders. The pace of the story shifts here. If we rewind to the early days of their relationship, skepticism was widespread. Many questioned the chemistry. Others doubted the compatibility. An indie film icon crossing paths with one of the most commercially powerful families in entertainment seemed, at first, unlikely. But as time passed, patterns emerged. Timothee didn't retreat from attention, yet he didn't chase it either. He stayed consistent. Calm. Grounded. U.S. media outlets report that his interactions with Kris Jenner and other family members have been notably warm and natural. There's no visible tension. No forced performances. Sources even suggest that Timothee has made a genuine effort to understand the family dynamic, something not all previous partners have done. And this is where the tension rises. Because within the Jenner family, acceptance is never casual. It's a signal. A message. And for observers who know how this world operates, that message is loud and clear. Zoom in on a key fact. Timothée Chalamet is known for maintaining strict boundaries between his professional success and his personal life. He rarely speaks publicly about relationships. He avoids overexposure. So when he chooses to spend meaningful time with the Jenner family, it challenges long-held assumptions about his approach to fame and intimacy. Halfway through this story, here's the detail that has made industry insiders pause. A detail that, if accurate, could redefine how this relationship is viewed going forward. Stay with us. Timothee's connection with the Jenner family has also sparked new discussions about the evolution of his public image. Long celebrated as a symbol of modern, artistic Hollywood, his proximity to the Jenner empire expands his influence into mainstream pop culture at an unprecedented scale. Yet what stands out most is what hasn't changed. He hasn't lost his identity. Observers note that Timothee appears to remain firmly himself, reserved, thoughtful, and selective. He doesn't overperform. He doesn't dilute his image. Instead, the relationship appears balanced, suggesting mutual respect rather than assimilation into one dominant world. Now we reach the emotional peak of this story. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Jenner family views Timothee not merely as Kylie's partner, but as someone who brings emotional stability. That quality carries significant weight in a family constantly surrounded by cameras, pressure, and public scrutiny. And when a family as influential as the Jenners begins to see someone in that light, it marks a turning point. There has been no dramatic announcement. No official statement. No viral confession. And that may be the most telling sign of all. What's happening is unfolding quietly, steadily, and authentically. So what does this all mean? Many now believe that the relationship between Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner is entering a new chapter. Not because of speculation, but because of a consistent pattern of actions that are difficult to dismiss. This is no longer just about romance. It's about integration, acceptance, and long-term possibility. And here's the payoff. Timothée Chalamet's growing closeness with the Jenner family is more than a background detail in a celebrity love story. It represents a shift from private affection to structural connection. From individual choice to family inclusion. From rumor to reality slowly taking shape in plain sight. Now it's your turn. Do you see this as a sign of serious, long-term commitment? Or is the media reading too much into carefully chosen moments? Share your thoughts, join the conversation, and stay connected for more updates, because stories like this are far from over. What happens next is where the story grows even more compelling, because the implications stretch far beyond a single relationship. As award season intensified, Timothée Chalamet's schedule became increasingly demanding. Premieres, festivals, industry dinners, and closed-door meetings filled his calendar. Yet despite the pressure, his proximity to Kylie Jenner and her family did not fade. In fact, insiders observed the opposite. His presence became more consistent, more grounded, and noticeably less performative. That consistency is what continues to fuel speculation that this connection is rooted in something deeper than public appearances. Sources familiar with Hollywood relationship dynamics note that timing plays a crucial role in determining seriousness. When a relationship survives periods of peak professional pressure, it often signals long-term intention. In Timothee's case, balancing a high-profile acting career while maintaining close ties with the Jenner family suggests a deliberate choice rather than convenience. What's especially striking is how quietly this integration has unfolded. There were no viral Instagram posts. No orchestrated paparazzi moments designed to dominate trending pages. Instead, the evidence appeared in fragments, subtle interactions, shared environments, familiar body language, and an ease that cannot be easily staged. In an era where visibility is currency, restraint becomes meaningful. Industry analysts argue that this approach aligns closely with Timothee's long-established reputation. He has consistently resisted overexposure, preferring to let his work speak louder than his personal life. That philosophy appears unchanged, even as his relationship places him closer to one of the most visible families on the planet. Meanwhile, the Jenner family's response has been equally telling. Kylie Jenner, long accustomed to intense public scrutiny, has appeared noticeably more reserved in discussing her personal life. Observers point out that this shift mirrors Timothee's own preference for privacy, suggesting a mutual alignment in values. Rather than amplifying their relationship through spectacle, both sides appear to be protecting it through discretion. This mutual restraint has altered the tone of media coverage. Where early headlines focused on shock and disbelief, recent reporting leans toward analysis and interpretation. The question is no longer is this real, but how serious has this become? That evolution alone reflects a broader acknowledgement within the media ecosystem that this relationship has moved beyond novelty. Another layer of intrigue lies in how this connection reshapes narratives on both sides. For Timothée Chalamet, proximity to the Jenner family places him at the crossroads of high art and mass culture. Yet rather than diluting his credibility, some critics argue it has expanded his cultural relevance. He is no longer seen solely as an indie darling or award season favorite, but as a figure capable of navigating multiple worlds without losing authenticity. For the Jenner family, particularly Kylie, the relationship introduces a different kind of visibility. One that emphasizes emotional grounding over spectacle, stability over constant reinvention. In a family often associated with high-intensity branding, that shift carries symbolic weight. Midway through this unfolding story, another detail has caught the attention of seasoned observers. Several sources suggest that Timothee's interactions with younger members of the family have been notably natural and respectful. While seemingly minor, such interactions often signal deeper comfort levels within family settings. They reflect not obligation, but familiarity. And familiarity, in this context, is rarely accidental. This is where the narrative quietly tightens. Because families like the Jenners do not casually open their inner circles. Trust is built slowly, tested repeatedly, and maintained carefully. Inclusion is earned, not granted. And every appearance of ease suggests that those tests are being passed. Still, no one involved has rushed to define the relationship publicly. That absence of definition may be the most strategic choice of all. By avoiding labels, both Timothee and Kylie retain control over their narrative. They allow the story to unfold organically, on their terms, rather than through the expectations of fans or the demands of tabloids. As a result, public fascination continues to grow. Search interest around Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner has surged, driven not by scandal, but by curiosity. People are watching closely, not for drama, but for signs of permanence. That shift in audience behavior reflects a broader cultural moment, where authenticity increasingly outperforms spectacle. And now, the story approaches its most consequential implication. If this relationship continues on its current trajectory, it could mark a rare convergence between two distinct models of fame. One built on artistic credibility and selective exposure. The other on brand mastery and global visibility. The success of such a convergence would challenge long-held assumptions about compatibility in the celebrity world. Whether intentional or not, Timothée Chalamet's growing closeness with the Jenner family has become a case study in modern celebrity relationships. It demonstrates how privacy, when carefully maintained, can amplify interest rather than diminish it. There are still no confirmations. No official milestones announced to the public. But in the language of Hollywood, actions often speak louder than statements. And the actions unfolding here suggest deliberation, patience, and depth. So where does this leave us now? At a moment of quiet anticipation. A space where speculation exists, but evidence continues to accumulate. Where every subtle interaction carries meaning precisely because it is understated. What began as an unexpected pairing now reads like a slow-burning narrative of integration and trust. Not rushed. Not manufactured. And certainly not accidental. As this story continues to evolve, one thing remains clear. The closeness between Timothée Chalamet and the Jenner family is no longer a background detail. It is the story itself. And the world is watching closely to see what chapter comes next. And yet, even with all eyes watching, the most powerful developments remain the ones happening out of frame. Behind the scenes, sources describe a dynamic that feels increasingly normalized. Timothée Chalamet is no longer treated as a guest whose presence requires adjustment. Instead, he moves within the family environment with ease, an indication that familiarity has replaced formality. In celebrity culture, That transition is rare, especially within a family whose private life has been monetized, scrutinized, and analyzed for more than a decade. What makes this evolution especially notable is the absence of friction. There are no reports of conflict, no whispers of internal resistance, no signs of discomfort that often accompany high-profile relationships involving powerful families. On the contrary, the atmosphere described by those close to the situation suggests calm, stability, a sense of predictability. In an industry fueled by chaos, that calm becomes its own headline. Observers have also noted a subtle shift in how Timothee is framed by entertainment media. Coverage increasingly places him not just as an individual star, but as part of a broader narrative involving legacy, family alignment, and long-term trajectory. That reframing does not happen without cause. It reflects how consistently he has appeared within that familial context over time. Equally telling is what has not occurred. There have been no attempts to capitalize on this closeness through reality television storylines, no brand collaborations built around the relationship, no overt efforts to convert personal moments into commercial content. For a family known for transforming visibility into value, restraint of this magnitude is significant. This restraint feeds a growing theory among analysts that the relationship is being protected, not promoted. In Hollywood, protection often signals intent. It suggests that what's being built is considered too valuable to risk premature exposure. And when both parties appear aligned in that approach, it strengthens the perception of shared priorities. As months pass, the narrative continues to mature. Early skepticism has largely given way to measured observation. Fans and critics alike are no longer debating whether the relationship exists. They are watching how it behaves, how it endures, how it adapts under pressure. That shift in focus marks a turning point in public perception. Another element quietly shaping this story is generational contrast. Timothée Chalamet represents a wave of actors who navigate fame with caution, self-awareness, and a preference for artistic credibility. The Jenner family represents a generation that mastered visibility, branding, and influence at an unprecedented scale. The coexistence of these approaches within one relationship challenges assumptions about incompatibility between old and new models of celebrity power. Rather than clashing, the two styles appear to be coexisting. Insiders suggest that mutual respect plays a central role. Timothee is said to value the family's resilience and adaptability, while the Jenners reportedly appreciate his grounded presence and lack of performative ambition within their world. Such mutual acknowledgement often forms the foundation of lasting relationships, particularly under intense public scrutiny. As the story deepens, one theme becomes increasingly clear: intentionality. Nothing about this progression feels rushed. There are no abrupt declarations, no forced milestones designed to satisfy public curiosity. Instead, the relationship advances through consistency, through repetition, through quiet confirmation rather than loud announcement. In the context of celebrity news, that approach is almost disruptive. It forces audiences to slow down, to observe rather than react, to interpret rather than consume. And in doing so, it elevates the relationship from entertainment to case study. The implications extend beyond Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner themselves. This unfolding dynamic reshapes conversations about privacy, boundaries, and authenticity in an era dominated by constant exposure. It suggests that even within the most visible families on Earth, discretion can still function as power. As speculation continues, the lack of contradiction from either side becomes increasingly meaningful. Silence, in this case, does not create doubt. It creates confirmation. The absence of denial allows the narrative to stand on its own merits. On observed behavior. On repeated patterns. On a closeness that no longer feels incidental. And so, the story settles into a new phase. Not one defined by surprise, but by expectation. Not driven by shock, but by continuity. What was once questioned is now monitored. What was once dismissed is now taken seriously. In the end, the growing closeness between Timothée Chalamet and the Jenner family illustrates a fundamental truth about modern celebrity relationships. The strongest signals are rarely the loudest ones. They are the quiet choices made consistently, away from headlines, and sustained over time. This is no longer a story about whether something is happening. It is a story about what kind of future is being built, and how deliberately it is being shaped. As attention intensifies, the relationship continues to reveal itself through nuance rather than noise. Every public sighting, every indirect mention, every shared space adds another layer to a narrative that feels increasingly intentional. In an industry where overexposure often shortens the lifespan of relationships, this slow, measured progression stands out as a strategic anomaly. Those familiar with Hollywood's inner workings point to one critical factor: alignment under pressure. Timothée Chalamet operates within a film industry that prizes credibility, discipline, and long-term career planning. The Jenner family operates within a media ecosystem built on constant relevance and cultural dominance. For these two forces to coexist without visible friction suggests a level of emotional intelligence that goes beyond surface-level attraction. What's more, insiders emphasize how naturally Timothée adapts without surrendering autonomy. He does not attempt to rebrand himself. He does not reposition his public image to fit a new mold. Instead, he maintains a steady presence that neither competes with nor depends on the Jenner spotlight. That balance is rare and telling. Meanwhile, Kylie Jenner's role within this dynamic has evolved quietly but noticeably. Publicly, she appears more grounded, more selective, and less reactive to speculation. Observers note that this shift coincides with the deepening of the relationship, reinforcing the perception that emotional security, rather than spectacle, now drives decision-making. This evolution has not gone unnoticed by audiences. Online discourse has shifted from disbelief to guarded optimism. Commentators no longer frame the relationship as unexpected or mismatched. Instead, they analyze its sustainability. They ask how it functions, not whether it exists. That reframing alone signals that the relationship has crossed an invisible threshold in public consciousness. As time progresses, the story acquires weight through repetition. The same patterns appear again and again: consistency, discretion, mutual presence. These are not the hallmarks of a fleeting connection. They are indicators of a bond designed to endure scrutiny rather than burn brightly and fade. Another compelling aspect lies in how this relationship intersects with legacy. The Jenner family is acutely aware of long-term narratives, how relationships are remembered, how they shape public identity, how they influence generational perception. Allowing someone deeper access to that ecosystem implies confidence not just in the present, but in the future. For Timothée Chalamet, whose career trajectory suggests longevity rather than volatility, this alignment makes sense. He has consistently chosen projects and partnerships that prioritize depth over immediacy. Applying that same philosophy to his personal life reinforces the authenticity of the connection. Still, the absence of formal confirmation keeps speculation alive. And yet, paradoxically, it also strengthens credibility. In a culture accustomed to instant declarations, patience becomes persuasive. Each day without contradiction adds another quiet affirmation that what's unfolding does not require validation. As observers look ahead, the question is no longer about revelation, but progression. What happens when private integration becomes normalized? When family inclusion shifts from novelty to routine? When public curiosity settles into acceptance? These are the markers that typically precede long-term commitment, whether acknowledged openly or not. At this stage, the relationship operates in a space beyond rumor yet beneath announcement. It exists in a deliberate middle ground, where meaning is built through behavior rather than headlines. And perhaps that is the most significant development of all. Because in an industry defined by extremes, moderation becomes powerful. Stability becomes disruptive. And restraint becomes the ultimate signal of seriousness. As the world continues to watch, one truth grows increasingly difficult to ignore: this is no longer a story fueled by speculation alone. It is sustained by consistency, reinforced by silence, and shaped by intention. Whatever the future holds, the growing closeness between Timothée Chalamet and the Jenner family has already redefined expectations. It has challenged assumptions about celebrity relationships, blurred the lines between private and public worlds, and demonstrated that not all meaningful stories announce themselves loudly. Some simply unfold, quietly, steadily, and in plain sight. And as the narrative stretches forward, what becomes increasingly evident is how carefully controlled this evolution has been, not by press teams or publicists, but by behavior itself. Hollywood insiders emphasize that relationships at this level of visibility rarely survive without clear internal structure. Emotional boundaries, mutual expectations, and shared long-term thinking become non-negotiable. In this case, all signs suggest that those foundations are already in place. Timothée Chalamet's presence within the Jenner family ecosystem appears stable, repeatable, and free of turbulence, three indicators that industry veterans recognize immediately. There is also a noticeable absence of narrative correction. When celebrity relationships are misinterpreted by the media, representatives often move quickly to clarify, deny, or redirect. That has not happened here. The silence has been consistent, sustained, and uniform across all involved parties. In the language of celebrity media, such silence often functions as confirmation through omission. As weeks turn into months, the story shifts from observation to implication. Entertainment journalists now frame coverage around when rather than if. When will this relationship reach its next phase? When will the public acknowledgement come, if at all? When will family integration transition into something formally defined? These questions reflect a fundamental change in tone, one that rarely occurs without substantial evidence behind the scenes. Another factor quietly reinforcing this perception is rhythm. The relationship does not spike suddenly into headlines and then disappear. It maintains a steady presence in the background of major cultural moments. Award seasons, industry gatherings, private celebrations. This rhythmic consistency suggests planning, not coincidence. And planning, in this context, implies foresight. For the Jenner family, foresight is everything. Their longevity in the media landscape is built on anticipating shifts before they become unavoidable. Allowing a relationship to evolve without forcing narrative acceleration suggests confidence. Confidence that the foundation is strong enough to withstand scrutiny when the time comes. Timothée Chalamet's approach mirrors this strategy in a different way. Throughout his career, he has avoided decisions that prioritize immediate attention over long-term credibility. His film choices, public appearances, and media engagement all reflect a preference for sustainability. Extending that philosophy into his personal life creates a sense of alignment that audiences instinctively recognize as genuine. The longer this alignment persists, the more resistant it becomes to dismissal. Skepticism thrives on inconsistency, on contradiction, on visible imbalance. Yet none of those elements have surfaced here. Instead, the narrative grows more coherent with time, not less. Even critics who once questioned compatibility now acknowledge the durability of the connection. The debate has shifted from disbelief to analysis, from whether the relationship makes sense, to how it functions so smoothly under pressure. This shift marks a rare moment in celebrity reporting. It reveals an audience increasingly attuned to subtlety. Viewers are no longer satisfied with dramatic reveals or sensational claims. They are watching patterns, behaviors, and continuity. And what they see here is continuity reinforced again and again. At this stage, the relationship occupies a unique space. It is public enough to be undeniable, yet private enough to remain protected. It is visible without being performative, discussed without being defined. This balance is difficult to maintain, and even harder to fake. As a result, each passing moment adds weight rather than fatigue. The story does not feel overexposed. It feels unfinished. And that sense of an unfolding future keeps attention locked in, not through shock, but through anticipation. Ultimately, the growing